half took care of the top half. So it should cut back on that.
Yeah, well, it's this far, but this far from the other. Floating.
Yeah, it is floating.
Oh, yeah. And look at my arm.
Hold on a second.
What are you doing?
Taking a video.
A flash flood emergency was declared in western Maryland Tuesday after heavy rain from a slow-moving storm caused rapid and dangerous flooding. Emergency officials said it's the worst the region has experienced in nearly 30 years. Communities already soaked from earlier rain were hit hard again, worsening the situation.
We should probably go before we can't.
Yeah.
We need to go before we can't get out of here.
In towns like Westernport, Luke and Barton rainfall totals reached between 2.5 to 5 inches within hours, with additional rain forecast to fall. The National Weather Service warned of life-threatening floods sweeping across low-lying roads and urban areas. Small creeks and rivers quickly overflowed, submerging underpasses and neighborhoods.
That's the alley behind Port West. Subway parking lot. Church Street. All your first responders doing hard work.
George Creek in Westernport approached the critical 12-foot flood stage, placing homes, businesses, and public infrastructure in immediate danger. Emergency services were dispatched throughout the region to assist with rescue and evacuation efforts. Many streets were submerged, cutting off access to key parts of town. At Westernport Elementary School, rising waters surrounded the building with floodwater reaching toward the second floor. About 150 students and 50 staff members were trapped inside until emergency crews could reach them. Boats were used in repeated trips to safely evacuate everyone stranded by the fast-moving waters.
That's where they're going to think, because there's no way this much water. This bridge is going to break.
Look at the leaves on the bridge from this tree that is beaten up.
School officials in Allegheny County confirmed it was too dangerous to dismiss students from schools in Westernport and Lonaconing. Some children remained in school buildings under the care of teachers and staff while awaiting rescue. Accommodations were arranged until safe transportation could be secured by emergency personnel.
Barton's only like 6 feet.
Heavy rains over steep mountainous terrain in the tri-state area of Maryland, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia created extreme runoff. Flooding was swift and destructive, with roads completely washed out in locations like Laurel Run and Barton. The storm system responsible continued pushing northward, threatening more damage along its path. Downtown Westernport faced significant destruction as floodwaters reached homes and businesses, prompting mass evacuations. Social media was flooded with videos showing torrents of water rushing down main streets and past buildings. Concerned residents called for help as property damage mounted rapidly in affected zones. One gauge along George Creek showed a 7-foot rise in just 6 hours, marking the creek's highest level since a 1996 flood. Emergency responders were deployed across the region, and local agencies set up operations at Westernport Elementary. Their goal was to coordinate evacuations and provide shelter to those displaced.
Those cars are floating right there.
Okay, now, here's the
Some roads near Lonaconing and Barton were rendered impassable, cutting off entire neighborhoods from emergency services. Despite the challenging conditions, crews worked tirelessly to evacuate vulnerable areas, including along Laurel Run. The extent of road and infrastructure damage is still being assessed by authorities.
We're still figuring out what we're doing. I want to come down here and stand.
Officials urged residents to shelter in place and avoid travel unless absolutely necessary, as rescue teams continued their operations. With more rain expected, the risk of further flooding remained high across the George Creek Valley. Residents were advised to monitor alerts and await further instructions from local emergency management.
I told Tara if she can get out, she can get to me.
I called that principal at 20 after 12 and said their road was closed. Down here.